In this video, I would not only hold out, but thrive as a democratic Czechoslovakia. But we had further ambitions. Watch the video to see. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. How about we play as Czechoslovakia today? I mean, why not? Someone give me a reason why not. You can't. I haven't played as Czechoslovakia since they released the new content pack for them, so let's just hop right on into it, and we'll leave Iron Man mode and historical AI on. Alright, welcome to Czechoslovakia. We start off with a whopping 26 divisions. That's not too bad at all. 155,000 men in the field. We also have 25 factories, almost 50,000 spare manpower, 35% war support, that's not too bad, and 70% stability, not bad either. So what are we going to be doing as Czechoslovakia today? Well, with this nice big focus tree, we can do a lot, but what I don't know if I've seen people do is sort of this path right here, where you form a federation and become the guardian of Central Europe through this way. So, you know what? Why don't we do some coalition building to start off with, a 35-day focus, and then we'll start to head on down to this path right here. We'll see if it's any good. I mean, I'm like a guinea pig because I don't think I've seen a person do this path yet. So we'll see how it goes. Alright, so the readiness of the Armada, yeah, we are not ready right now, but we will be ready. Yeah, we are a prepared army right now. Hopefully we'll be very prepared if anybody comes a knocking for some territory like maybe the Sudetenland, I don't know. So we are a bit of a divided nation, so hopefully by doing this path, we'll fix everything wrong with Czechoslovakia. Okay, so here we go. Bridging the divide. We do need to heal our nation because we have a bunch of negative modifiers on our states everywhere. So a great thing about that is, you know what we can do to get rid of these negative modifier in our states is make them not our states anymore. So let's do some negotiations with the autonomous bloc, and I believe that leads to us releasing Slovakia, perhaps. Okay, but we still do have a lot of bad modifiers here at the actual Czech part of Czechoslovakia, so I guess we'll have to do some education and all that good stuff. Okay, but there we go. There's negotiations with the autonomous bloc. So what does that give us? Okay, so yeah, Slovakia does have to exist within a year, or they just hate us a lot. Okay, so since we have a year, I think I'm going to raise more industrial funds. Then we need to start that second fortification program. All right, so yeah, the Germans are rearming. Hopefully we'll be prepared. I like these decisions here. I mean, we can embezzle some funds. Oh, maybe we should do that, right? I'd rather my army do something. So you know what? We're going to send some observers to Ethiopia. Why not? Ethiopia looks like they're doing all right. Oh, we got a scheme, do we? That doesn't sound very good. Let's see. Oh, it's with Ethiopia. I'd rather not. Let's just take the 5 political power, okay? I'm not going to get caught in any schemes. Okay, maybe we are going to do some schemes, but joint stock schemes. So very above board stuff, okay? I mean, we won't do them right now, but that's always an option. Instead, let's grab some more factories here in the Central Bohemia plan because, again, we don't need to balance these things out because we're just going to be this part of our country anyways. Alright, I've just increased us up to limited conscription because I want to drain all of this manpower from here before we release them. They're just going to keep building up our industry in the meantime because we still have half a year to release Slovakia before they get really angry at us. So I'm going to take advantage of that industry as best we can before we have to let them go. Alright, now what I am going to do is start heading down these few focuses right here so that we can start to go down to here. I don't know how far we'll get down to here. Okay, so there we go. Our divided nation. Now we only have things in Slovakia. So, you know, I guess that makes sense why they do want a bit of autonomy because we fixed the Czech parts of the country before we did anything with the Slovakian parts. They might be onto something. Like I said, I am going to start to train up some new divisions. We'll get them on a high priority. We'll just spam them out so that way we get the manpower in the field rather than sitting at home in Slovakia. Alright, and what I'm going to do now is unheard of in the Balkan area down here, and that's improve our cross-border rail connections and try to become friends with all the Balkan nations down here. And now we have just 49 days to do this, so we're going to have to now release Slovakia, and then we're going to have to deal with the Carpatho-Ukrainians, because of course they want their independence too. Alright, and let's train up these last few divisions. Now Augustin here. Get out of here, Augustin. This is not about you right now. This is about Slovakia. There we go. Slovakia autonomy agreement done, and you almost can't tell they're independent. That's how not independent they really are, because they're still an integrated puppet of us. But here's Mr. Yan in charge of Slovakia. Okay, and now we can bridge the divide, getting rid of our divided nation fully. Let's do that now. 7 days, and now we have another 6 months to deal with Carpatho-Ukraine. That's not too bad. So now we can continue going down this part, and we'll revisit our custom union talks. And it looks like we invite Hungary and Austria into a customs union treaty. So why don't we improve relations with them? I mean, they're not aligned and they are the Brown Party, but maybe they want to work with a democratic nation. I mean, there's money involved, so why wouldn't you? We managed to save up a ton of manpower. We now have almost 250,000 of probably a lot of Slovakians who were forced into the army and have been temporarily relocated. Welcome to your new home, guys. Right, and Hungary has agreed. What about Austria? That's not Austria. guess we'll do forming a federation in the meantime. All right, and let's see, forming a federation is done. Now we are a different blue on the map already, and we're the Central Europe Federation. All right, that's interesting. And look at that new flag. That's a flag. And since we only have 39 days to give in to the Carpatho-Ukrainians, let's cut them loose and we get them as an integrated puppet as well. Okay, and Central European Federation, we have a decision here. We can form it, which we need, it looks like this land here, and we can demand that Austria or Hungary joins our federation. All right, let's see about Austria. That's 30 days. We'll line up the army on their border. These are peacekeeping forces, of course. Okay, and yes, Austria has in fact agreed. Looks like our peacekeeping force was enough to get them on our side. How about you, Hungary? Let's demand that you join our federation. And there's Carpatho-Ukraine free, and Mr. Augustin, the independence-minded priest, is now leading this little land right here. Okay, and there we go. Hungary has agreed to join our federation as well, and we are now looking pretty Austro-Hungarian, that's for sure, but we're blue, and we are the Central Europe Federation. Okay, it looks like we don't actually need all of that land to form the European Federation. Okay, I guess we can hit this button already, and what does that do? Okay, that gave us cores on all of this land. Yes, it did, but it didn't annex it back into us. Okay, so that's interesting. We now have cores on a bit more land here in Europe. Okay, now in order to bypass the Anschluss focus, I think we need to go down and make a faction. So let's do the Guardian of Central Europe so we can create our faction. That way, I think the Germans bypass the Anschluss focus. Okay, and as France and Britain announce an alliance, we are now the Guardian of Central Europe, and we can create our own faction. Let's do the Defensive Democratic faction. That really is what this is about right now. All right, and for a faction name, we will be the Avengers Assembly, and one commenter is going to be pretty happy about that one. And as for our icon, let's be this little tree with the crown. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, and we'll invite all countries that would approve, a grand total of 0 countries. And now to do bend the bars, we only need to get rid of a few more things. All right, now this is what I'm going to go for in terms of my divisions for right now. It's going to be a pure defensive division, and our divisions today will be called the Wren from Bristol. Let's give them a cool icon. Let's give them this little claw, and I'm hoping these things will be able to hold against the Germans, and we'll start training up a bunch more divisions. Oh, good job, Czechoslovakia and Hungary. They've secured Romanian support. No, I don't want to lodge a diplomatic protest on my own puppet. Let's follow the Romanian lead and let them rearm. Go ahead, guys. We are kind of stuck right now. It is March of 38. I would expect the Germans to be doing at least something at this point, but they're not. We only have 13% world tension, so we can't even go down this focus to force the industrialist hand and get rid of our industrialist veto and get off of civilian economy. I told you we'd be getting into some schemes today. All right, it looks like through our focus or something. Okay, yeah, this federalization agreement, they actually get minus 0.5 daily autonomy gain, so we're slowly but surely annexing all of our guys. We can now integrate the Slovak Republic to an annex nation. Let's bring them back into the fold, and we get our cores back, and there we go. Our fortifications are done. World tension is now high enough, and we have 45% war support. We can now force the industrialist hand and remove our industrialist veto. Yeah, I did not realize this path was so OP that Germany just can't come after you at all. You can really just truly build up, and all it costs is Slovakia for a year. That's not too bad at all, and as well, you just get Austria and Hungary for free. To get rid of army readiness, we have to do the ready for anything decision right here for 100 political power. To do that, we need 425,000 manpower in divisions. We have 424.9 thousand. That is ridiculous. And we also need 200 fighters or trains, and I'm currently researching some fighters. Yeah, so the Germans are definitely going a bit ahistorical. They formalized the anti-Soviet pact. Italy has just joined the Axis, however. All right, and with our wonderful air all researched, let's design some fighters. And this will be our design, of course, and it will be called the Just Account, so LOL, after a channel member, of course. Thank you very much for your support. Let's get these things into production, and we'll get some casts into production as well. And this is what we'll go for our cast. And our cast will be called the Maxim Yeet 2, after an elite channel member of mine. Thank you very much for your support. I'm going to do something a bit interesting. I'm going to go down here, grab this focus. I'm going to expand the 1935 Treaty Alliance, and then I'm going to demand a corridor to the Soviets and demand some land off Poland. We do have cores on this territory here, so I mean, we'll see if they accept. Alright, so the Germans have finally done a bit of expansion, and that is they've taken Mamel. Well, it looks like they've actually accepted, because we now control these two states here. This is not a core of ours. This is a core of ours, however. Interesting decision, Poland. Alright, it looks like we've gotten in our land off Poland just in time, because Poland, I guess, hates the Germans more than they hate the Central European Federation. They've ignored the German ultimatum for land, and there they go in on Poland. Jeez, I don't even think the UK was guaranteeing Poland. No, they weren't. So Poland is now just dead. that is a bit concerning for us because now we're going to have a much larger front line against the Germans than just here where we're all built up with our forts. Okay, well, this might do something. The Germans have now declared on Luxembourg, and that surely has to put them at war with the Allies, right? And it appears they're now justifying on us. That will put us finally at war with the Germans, it would seem. And here's the Sudetenland partisan activity, so it looks like they're doing the demand Sudetenland focus right now. Bit late, but Poland is now into the Allies as well, and we now have a Sudeten crisis on our hands. So let's start to root out these things right away. I guess we can get Jan here as our leader of the Democratic Party. He moves us to a very prepared army. Yes, okay, you know what? We will do that. And now we have Mr. Jan, the reluctant prime minister, in charge of our country, and we can now do ready for anything. Perfect. Let's do that now. Our army is prepared. We are trained up. We can now bend the bars, gain some political power, and get our decision to realize European unity. And yes, here it is. The German Reich has demanded the Sudetenland. Let's just hit this right away. I'm confident. And here they come. The Germans have declared war on us. I've got our air up. 400 fighters, 200 cast. That should do us decently. And they are not even attacking us right now. And we are engaged with the Germans here in the skies. They just have their support planes up. They have no fighters, and we are just demolishing them. They are doing absolutely nothing to us. And I'm going to go for a push now. Let's see if I can get this encirclement and push to the river here. Oh yeah, there we go. There's a German division already encircled for us, and we have now bent the bars, made it to this supply hub. Everything so far is going very good. Incredibly successful hold so far. We've already taken out 50,000 Germans, and we've only lost 5,000 men. Still mobilizing a lot of men and building up the air force, but then once we do that, we'll annex Hungary, get all of their juicy factories, resources, and manpower for ourselves, and put them to good use to push the Axis out of the Balkans here. And Italy is just declared on Greece. Greece, do you want to join our faction? No, they would rather join the Allies. Alright, well that's lame. Okay, and Romania has ceded Bessarabia to the Soviets, so that way it's this one tile cutting off the rest of the Axis from the Balkans here. I mean, until they go at war with Yugoslavia. And there we are. Peace for our time. What better time to annex Hungary than right now? Let's do that. We've officially annexed Hungary. We've taken all their divisions. Our air is ready here in the Balkans, and our divisions are certainly ready as well. And we've made it to the supply here in the mountains. We encircled all of those divisions right there. And let's just keep pushing, close this gap here, and get rid of Romania. And yep, look at that. The king, he's so ashamed of what's going on. He's abdicated the throne of Romania. And there we go. We've made it on into Bucharest. Bulgaria is actually not in the war against us, so we don't have to worry about them for now. So I guess our border is just open with them. Okay, and it looks like Romania has indeed capitulated. They must have had an insanely low war support for us to be doing that. Let's take out these divisions before they can escape across the Bulgarian border. Okay, well, I guess things are deteriorating a bit over here. The Germans seem to be pushing back hard. They've actually taken one of our good tiles here with the forts on it. That's not great. Yeah, they are pushing us back on all the fronts, but once we clean this up and get our divisions free from here, they can enter the main front again. Then we should be able to truly hold that. That is a bit nerve-wracking right there. Alright, I think I've come up with a solution to take our tile back, and that is go around it and encircle the Germans. So let's see if we can make that happen. There we go. Indeed, we can make that happen. And also pick up some territory. Maybe we're going to get the city of Nuremberg as well. Yes, we are. And there we go. The Austrian border is pretty much all cleaned up now as well. We've stabilized this. Actually, we've lost a tile here. Okay, no worries. Let's do the same strategy and just go around them. Oh goodness, what happened down here? I take my eyes away for 1 second, and now we are being invaded through Yugoslavia. That's great. Okay, good thing I have 48 fresh divisions ready for anything down here. So let's get these guys deployed, and let's take out the Balkans once again, this time fully. How did Poland get this bit of land back? I don't know how, but they have. It'll help us against the Germans, I think, until they take this land back, which they will, and then our front line will be exposed again. That's just an annoyance, and I don't know why that happened. This is some Balkan madness. I knew Bulgaria would join in, and they have, right after Yugoslavia has capitulated, so now we are surrounded on all sides. This is getting messy, but again, we're still holding, we're still doing okay. And let's annex Carpatho, Ukraine, giving us a full front line once again. They built it up very nicely for us. Thank you, Augustine. And it looks like a situation has stabilized. I did a little push myself, got an encirclement here, and now we don't have to worry about this random bit of Poland anymore. Quick casualties check. We're up to 50% of the war effort. We've taken 175,000 casualties, 100,000 of which to the Germans, and we've inflicted 1.7 million. That is awesome. We have 191 divisions, 200 factories. This is insane. What a path. And I am almost ready to annex Austria. Then we'll get our full push on into Italy. I'm probably about ready to push into the Balkans anyways, and we'll just find encirclements where we can get them, like right here, and continue picking off German divisions. Like, let's see these 5 divisions go. And that was very, very quick. And there we go, another very successful push. Alright, and this is going to be the push that ends German resistance over here. I'm going right to Königsberg, right to Memel. We're going to cut off all of these German divisions over here. It's going to be glorious. And there we go, we have indeed made it, and all of these Germans are cut off. Hi Rommel, you're trying to get out? I don't think so, sir. And look at that, we have some dockyards, let's get some convoys. We can have a navy today. And since that last clip, we've taken out another almost million Germans. They're up to almost 3 million total now. I see this pocket and I want it, so I'm going to do it. It's simple as that, really. Now, in order to realize European unity, we need to get all of these states outlined here, so we need to actually push into the French territory before we capitulate the Axis fully. I'll probably push into France, then start going into Italy. Can't let the Allies get control of France, so we can take them in the peace deal. That's the goal. Look at all the Germans here in Danzig. The war started with Danzig, and it will end right here for you guys. That's over 30 German divisions, and we're at the gates of Berlin, so let's close this pocket off right here while I'm talking. Like this, it's hard to multitask, and push, and there we are. Berlin is in Czechoslovakian hands. You love to see it. We are pushing like a hot knife through butter right now through the Germans. They can't stop us at this point. I'm about ready to start hitting my magic button here, and then annex Austria, and then we'll move on in to Italy. That's the goal. And I didn't expect the Germans to capitulate that quickly. That sucks, because now the Allies have all of their land back, including in France. So I don't know if we'll be able to realize European unity, at least without going to war with the Allies, if we can even get to war with the Allies. So we'll see about that. Alright, and our magic button has been hit. Let's hit all of them while we're at it. It's going to be red for right now, but it should turn green as soon as our air starts really taking over, which it will very shortly. And then we'll get enough political power to annex Austria, and finally get all of our cores of the Central Europe Federation, and the road to Rome is pretty much open at this point. We've cleaned up all the Balkans, and yeah, Italy does not have much left on the front line with us at all. Mussolini is gone, and the war is very soon to be over. Let's do a final casualty check here. We've taken under 500,000 casualties total, 250,000. Okay, there we go. There's the Italian Civil War. We'll keep the territory. 250,000 to the Germans, and we've inflicted 4 million. To the Italians, now we've taken 100,000, but we've inflicted 1 million, and they have capitulated now. 69% of the war score for us. Very nice. Let's take some land. And there we go. The Treaty of Berlin is here. Look at us on the map now. The Avengers Assembly is massive. We are definitely a Central European Federation, I'll tell you that much. We could also restore the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Another cursed thing. Maybe we'll do that once we annex Austria. I need to find a way to get to war with the Allies and take them out. I'll figure it out. And there's Austria annexed. We can indeed restore the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Let's do that. We are now the Federation of Moravian States. That's an interesting tag. Now can we become the European Union? I hope so. Greece is a non-aligned nation in the Allies, and when we get 11 more political power, you bet your bottom dollar we're justifying on Greece. Alright, I hit the decision to restore civilian leadership after this. I was thinking, oh, maybe we'll get our old leader back, but no, we get a generic guy. Antonine Hampel. You know what? That's not even a bad buff. 10% political power gain and 10% war support. I don't care if you're generic. You're sticking around, sir. Okay, our justification on Greece is done. Let's declare this war right away, and we'll just hit our magic button and push, and we'll see when the Allies get called in. We'll hit our magic button everywhere. Okay, there. They've called them in, and they don't even have the Maginot fully manned right now, so let's just push on in. The Allies are starting to pull up now, but it is too late. We have taken Paris, and our justification on the Japanese is done. Germans actually have a decent force, it looks like, built up here, but that shouldn't matter. Let's declare war on the Japanese, and yep, Germany's in. We have our magic button already hit. Let's get the required states right here, and we'll continue pushing on into France here. And thank you for your land, Germany, but also, more importantly, thank you for your navy. We now have a navy as Czechoslovakia. And we're up to 300 political power. Let's annex Italy. There we are. And can we hit the button? Almost. We just need to take the island of Corsica first. How the heck did they instantly invade Italy here? That's great. Thank you, game. And there we go. We've mopped that up. Let's see. Can we hit the button now? Yes, we can. We are now the European Federation. How beautiful. And interestingly enough, I don't think we can get any more cores than the starting European Union. So we can't even core this stuff. We don't even have the decisions for that. So there we go. We were the Central European Federation, and we've removed Central from the name, and we are just now the European Federation. I'm gonna see, maybe we can get on to the UK. Our CAS is absolutely getting shredded through. We are losing so much, but they have left. Look at that. They have 50 dominance. Let's get our dominance up. Naval invasions can launch tomorrow. Come on, boys. Here we go. Let's get all of our air now up over the UK. And we have made our landing somehow. Alright, let's get the entire army over. I don't care about raiding at all. Let's just see what happens. And London is in European hands. A true British man's worst nightmare. The European Union is back. Alright boys, the push is going insane. Despite our yellow air, we are just trading very well with them in the skies. We're continuing to push. Our divisions must be that much better as well. And there goes the UK. Give me all that equipment. There you have it. I think that's going to do it for this one. We have secured Europe. We have assembled the Avengers here. We were Czechoslovakia, then the Central European Federation, then Austria-Hungary, and now the European Federation. What's this? A little naval invasion of Liverpool? Okay, let's take that out as I do my outro. Thank you all for 20,000 subscribers. That is insane. I think it took me a year to do that on this platform, which I can't believe at all. And another thing, I'm sorry about my 2-week absence. Life comes at you pretty fast sometimes. Big thank you to my channel members. I'm surprised I still have any of you after missing 2 weeks, and I truly thank you for your support. If you've watched this far, please consider leaving a like or subscribing. It would mean a lot to me, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.